The Scholastic Ball Report is sponsored by UK Sports Medicine and brought to you by Central Bank, Crown Trophy, Panel Swim Shop, PRATS, PrepSpin.com, Raising Cane's, Rafferty's, Roberts Insurance, Sutherland Chevrolet, and by Whitaker Bank.
And welcome into the Scholastic Ball Report. Gary Ball with my intern Cole Wilson out of Model High School. Great to have you back on the show. I know you had a lot of schoolwork going on last week.
I did. I think I got it all done, but I'm not too sure. So.
Outstanding, outstanding. That's the main thing, get that schoolwork. You know, today on the show we got a jam-packed 30 minutes of high school sports, as we always say. We've got a great soccer team, Dunbar Boys Soccer. They're number one in the state. They're 16-1. They've only lost to a team in Ohio that was nationally ranked. They're nationally ranked. Brian Lawless is in, and of course he was on the state championship team himself. He's one of the assistant coaches now. That's
really impressive. I mean, 16-1 in a long soccer season is really impressive.
That's outstanding. Our feature is on a young lady. She's been on the Ball Report several years ago when she was a state champion golfer at West Jessamine. Now she's doing great things on the golf course for the University of Kentucky. Grace Rose.
That's really impressive. I mean, that transition from high school to college is not easy.
Our scholar athletes are from Scott County Girls Golf, and these two young ladies are so impressive. 4.2, 4.0 GPA. Tori Cameron, Riley Markham, they're here with Coach Brummett. We're so happy they took out the time. They were second in the state runner-up this year for Girls Golf.
That's crazy to keep up such high GPAs and do so well in your sport.
And then after that, we got another Sutherland Chevrolet Drive of the Week as we head down to Nicholasville to Sutherland Chevrolet. Oliver Silverson from UK, he's making his debut. How about that?
That's great, breaking in new things on the show.
Breaking in new things. And LCA Golf, they're all sick, so we'll get them on another show. All that coming up. And the best highlights in the state of Kentucky. How about it, Cole? From Game Time, Lee K and Brian Milam here at WKYT. Game Time brought to you by Prep Spin.
In Richmond, it's Lafayette and Madison Central. The Generals, well, they're on a 5-game winning streak in this series. Central trying to get back to 500 on their season. Derek Miller looking long. He's going long. Sees Antoine Warford downfield, but Quantez Cooper for the Generals there to take it the other way. Then with less than a minute to play, the Generals get a try for the score. Cameron Morgan gets the pass, and Lafayette closer to the end zone. Daquan Edwards then takes this snap, and he sees Generals near the end zone, but Deontay Witt gets the ball, runs it back just before the half. They would put up a field goal. Madison Central, well, they go on to get the win 21-0. Well, Drake was not at Douglas tonight, Frederick Douglass, the Hancock game, but guess what? Kentucky State Band was, and check out their moves. It's just as good as Drake, or better, really. Douglas with a comfortable lead in the second. Jefferson Harkless adding to it, breaking through the defense on his way to the end zone, 29-0 Douglas. Following a Hancock County punt, Montavian Bean can't find an open receiver, so he's going to keep it himself. Gets to the edge, picks up the first down. Now watch the left side of your screen as his teammate Michael Lowe, he just wants a high five. Like right there, he's like, I'll just give myself a high five. And just absolutely leaves him hanging. 2 plays later, Bean on the designated quarterback, or the design quarterback keeper, goes in for 6 more. Frederick Douglass, they get the shutout this evening on the farm, 48-0.
And welcome back into the Scholastic Ball Report. Thanks to Bob Roberts Insurance. They're out in Richmond, Kentucky, out there where you live.
That's right.
Richmond, Kentucky. They insure 3/4 of this great state of Kentucky. Thanks to them. And from Dunbar Soccer, Coach Lawless is in with us. And you were on the show, gosh, what, 12, 13 years ago as a state champion soccer player, and MVP of that tournament as well. What's it like transitioning as a state champion to assistant coach for Dunbar Soccer?
You know, more than anything, our program is based on really our head coach and our assistant coach. You know, Todd Bretz and John O'Hare, they've been with the program since the beginning. So they've really set a foundation really all across Central Kentucky, year after year, player after player coming through. So now it's fun to be back with them in the system.
Right.
More than anything, from my experience, you know, I've been on the side where we've lost the state championship. Now on the other side, I've won one, I've coached and we won one, and now with these guys, It's just fun to say, hey, let's take what we've learned and see how we can do it better each year.
Exactly.
Coach Lawless, tell us a little more about these 3 seniors.
So you got 3 great guys here. I'll work my way from them. We have Josh Sidlick, who plays goalie for us. And one of the things I really love about Josh is he has great skill. There's very few goalies you can pass and he can possess it as well as Josh can. But really right in front of him, you have Jake, who's a great defender, sees the field very well. And then with Chase, the great thing about him is he's flexible. He can play a little defense, he can move forward, he can keep possession when we need to. And that's big for us because we really like to hold the ball and maintain it.
Chase, it's tournament time. Can you believe it's already tournament time? How did you and the team get ready for the postseason mentally?
Well, before districts every Sunday, we'll meet in the locker room and we'll talk about the game plan for the week, and then we'll also watch a little film of past games and stuff, and we'll have pizza and hang out and just have a good time.
Team bonding.
Absolutely.
You gotta have it.
That's great.
Sunday pizza.
That sounds good too.
Yeah. Jake, defense often carries a team in the postseason. How were you guys able to use such great defense and prevent Lafayette to no points?
It really starts in practice. We're just a unit. We got great chemistry as a team in the back, and we're not taking anything off of our offense. We got a great offense. But we really just work well together. Great chemistry, like I said, and in practice we just grow and learn from each other each time, make a better defense.
And Josh, you mentioned team chemistry. How do you see that this year, the team chemistry from your goalkeeper position?
Oh yeah, it's better than ever. I can see him out there working every game. I have some of my best friends along the defensive line, so that helps. On tournaments, actually, we'd give each other haircuts for just team bonding, things like that. After the postseason games, we all go and get coffee at the gas station afterwards. It's great. Everyone's throughout every grade. We're all intact. We're all really. We know each other well.
These guys don't need super cuts or great clips, do they?
No, they usually see some of the cuts we come out.
This guy's hair, we did his.
These two cut my hair.
Yeah. Coach, soccer is so good in the 11th region. I think most sports are actually.
Yeah.
Is it this level of play that makes you guys so competitive?
It is, and I'd say really we try to prepare ourselves throughout the season. We go and we play a lot of teams. We invite teams to come to us. We had a team come to us from Ohio this year. We even go far away. We went as far away as Iowa to say, hey, what's the top level competition? Because we know to win our region, we have to be at our best.
Right. Well, guys, you've done a great job. We appreciate you coming on the show and look forward to covering some games on Prep Spin. Of course, the webcasting, the state does at the state level. But great job, and we look forward to seeing you down the road.
Thank you for having us out.
Thank you for coming back on. That's the Dunbar soccer team, #1 in the state. Outstanding soccer program there, and thanks to Coach Lawless. He was a state champion, MVP in that state soccer championships. Now we're going to this feature from this young lady that's a tremendous golfer out of West Jessamine, now doing her thing at the University of Kentucky.
Kentucky senior golfer Grace Rose saved her best collegiate performance for her home crowd at the University Club last weekend.
I'm from Lexington, so all my extended family and my boyfriend and his family, everyone was able to come out and watch both rounds. So it was exciting. It was definitely a lot of energy, very different from a typical round.
Rose notched her first career tournament title with a career best score of 211. The lowest 54-hole score in the 28 years of the Betty Lou Evans Invitational.
We actually, before every season, we have a goal sheet and we write down things that we want to accomplish before the year's over. And that was actually one of the things that I wanted to do. And before the season's over, I hope to win several more.
Rose had to rally from a 4-shot deficit with a 4-under par in the final round.
I was just being patient. It was a long day. It was a windy day. It was 36 holes in one day. So I had to stay patient, and I just had to rely on the performance in the past and the preparation that I had.
As a team, the Wildcats finished 4th in the 16-team field with an 881 overall total. But it was a good showing for the Wildcats.
We weren't satisfied with 4th place, but I definitely think that it's something that's going to motivate us, and we're a winning team, so it's just going to be a matter of time before we all click on the same day.
Grace Rose is the Athlete of the Week.
Welcome back into the Scholastic Ball Report. Gary Ball, my intern Cole Wilson, co-hosting today. And we've got great golfers on from Scott County Lady Cards here with us. Thank you all very much for coming in and sharing time with us on the program. You've had such a great season, Coach. Let's start with Riley. Talk about your golf season now that you've had time to reflect back after state, such a finish there at state.
Well, individually, I've played really well. And just for the team, we've we worked hard over the summer and finally just committed in the tournaments and pushed it to do well at state.
Reap the rewards of that hard work,
Yes,
didn't
it
you?
has.
Yep.
Tori, how would you break down the season and the overall success?
Yeah, this whole season has just been a steady improvement of growth for all players on the team. Each tournament, we've grown just a little bit mentally and physically, and that really showed at state the second day when we were able to jump from 5th to 2nd.
Awesome. That was a great climb there. And, Coach, obviously these young ladies are dynamic in class, and they're dynamic on the golf course, therefore. Tell us about it.
Yep. Yeah, it's great. Every time I get their grade reports, I'm never cringing when I open it. I can always expect,
you know what you got.
Right, I
yeah.
always expect a number with a 4 in the front.
Yeah.
And then it's really a competition to who's got the better 4.0. So.
Right.
But that just speaks to their hard work, not only in the classroom but on the golf course. And to me, it kind of carries over both because they have such dedication and hard work no matter what they're doing. So that makes them a successful golfer as well as a successful student.
Absolutely.
Riley, you have a 4.0 in class and on a top golf team. How do you block out other things and focus on that?
Yeah, that noise they called it out there.
Well, I prioritize. So I'm a student athlete, so those two obviously come first. And then if I have time, I get to do what teenagers do.
Have fun, right?
Yeah.
Have fun. Tori, with a 4.1 GPA, you achieve high marks, obviously, in academics. How does this spill over to the golf course for you, being such good academically?
Yeah, I always love to learn something new or just get a little bit better. So I take the time management skills and other things that I learn in school and take it to the golf course in practice to help me get a little bit better.
And state runner-up, let me tell you, from somebody who never played in the state tournament as a high school athlete, pretty darn good. You know, pretty darn good.
That was pretty darn good. Coach, you have to be so proud of these girls this season, what they accomplished. How proud are you?
I'm extremely proud. I mean, talking about the second place, best finish in school history, second place in state, is something to be very proud of. But more so than that, I'm most proud of the type of young ladies they are, especially in the classroom, the type of family members they are, teammates, classmates, friends. Yeah. They're just great people, and they deserve all the recognition that they get, and they work hard for it, but they're very deserving of all the honors and awards that they get.
Any college decisions yet, or is that down the road? What about you?
I verbally committed to WKU.
Wow, outstanding. Gonna be a topper. Congrats. And just thinking about your choices.
I know I want to do civil engineering, so I'm just looking around at the moment and applying to all my schools.
Well, best of luck, academic and coach. You do a great job there. Thank you for bringing these fine scholar athletes in. And as we do on the show every week, Crown Trophy, pass that down if you don't mind, Riley. Present you both with a beautiful plaque.
Thank you
that to Crown
much.
Trophy there behind Starbucks on Nicholasville Road. They'll personalize it for you. And that's just a small token of our gratitude for the hard work you've done in the classroom there at Scott County. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
very much.
Those are our scholar athletes from Scott County High School over in Georgetown, Kentucky. And now we're going to this great Sutherland Chevrolet Drive of the Week.
It's time now for the Sutherland Chevrolet Drive of the Week. We go to Danville, where Middlesboro was in town. This is Demarie Van Cleve on the punt return. And look at him weave his way in and out of the defense and into the end zone for the touchdown. Take another look at this one. He would not have even been called down if it was touch football. All the way to the house, Van Cleve goes. A big night for him, a big night for Danville. They improved to 9-0. That's your Sutherland Chevrolet Drive of the Week.
And welcome back into the Scholastic Ball Report, our UK Sports Medicine. And Oliver's with us, first time on the show. Great having you on the show. We're going to talk about pregame meals. What should I eat for my meal before a game?
We would like to recommend that you eat meals full of carbohydrates with a little protein in them, and you want to eat that well before the game, digest it so you're ready to go.
Ready to go. Fully nourished.
When should I eat my pregame meal?
Well, when you're eating that meal of carbohydrates and proteins, hopefully you can get that into your system about 2 to 3 hours before. You don't want to be walking out on the field with a full stomach or eat too early, and then you're walking out on the field with an empty stomach and you're too hungry.
What about the time before that meal? What should I eat before my season begins?
Before your season begins, you should be eating meals low in fat and high in protein. You want to build a lot of muscle because some of these seasons can be weeks to months, and if you plan on making the playoffs, you've got an extra weeks added on to the end of your season that you need to keep up for.
That's you know, you got to think about that extra time that you have. You
got to put in the work.
That's right. That's right.
What are some foods you would want to avoid?
Definitely avoid foods high in sugar and fat. Sugar can be a great quick source of energy, but over time it gets stored as fat in your body, and it's going to weigh you down, literally, in the end.
You know, we hear so much about drinks and, Gatorade, things like that, but people don't realize how important it is on a pregame meal. I see a lot of these teams now taking their team out for the pregame meal. They do that by design, don't they, to get them maybe the carbs they need, the carbs or whatever they need before that game. You see a lot of that on your
That's
level?
right. Over at Dunbar, we have a pregame meal before our football, and we like to load them up with our Gatorade then.
That's right. Good stuff. Thank you for coming on the show. Look forward to getting you back on.
Thank you.
That's our UK Sports Medicine segment. There's their website and their phone number. You've always got the walk-in clinic there every morning, right? 7:30, I believe it is?
7 to 8.
7 to 8 every morning there. So thanks to Oliver for coming in, and thank you for helping out, Mr. Wilson.
Yeah, no problem.
And now we're going to these final highlights. We always have 2 great highlight packages on the Scholastic Ball Report. Here's Brian Milam and Lee K. Howard. And, of course, check out PrepSpin.com for your Friday night football.
We jump right back into the highlights as we head to Winchester for a district matchup between Tates Creek and Clark County. Now, the Creekers have won 2 straight over the Cardinals. A beautiful night in Winchester for this one. The Commodores would waste no time getting on the scoreboard. Cameron Workman sells the fake so well that the camera goes with the runner. Instead, it's a pass over the top. Devontae Clay, and he's in for the 30-yard touchdown. Next Tates Creek possession, Workman finds Deontay White out in some space. He's got some running room. 27 yards later, he crosses the goal line. Right there, 31-7, Tates Creek, your winner tonight. District champ Scott County, look at that dog there. Going for the district sweep tonight against Dunbar. The Dogs haven't beaten Scott County in nearly a decade. Well, Scott County's defense has some dogs of their own. Big Zach Coleman there with the tackle for the loss on 3rd down. Cards up 14-0 and looking to add to it. Here, Bryce Fryman with a big gain. Eventually pushed out of bounds. Next play, Josh Davis off the play action to Peyton Brown for the score. That made it 21-0 in the first quarter, and Scott County with another perfect district championship season with the 42-8 win. All Henry played tonight, 36-3.
And welcome back as we wrap things up with my intern Cole Wilson out of Model High School over in Richmond, Kentucky, Gary Ball. And Cole, we have such great guests on this show, the Dunbar soccer boys, great young men, good in the classroom, #1 in the state and nationally ranked, that soccer team over at Dunbar.
That's crazy. You could tell they're great kids too. We're very well spoken.
And we're wrapping up the sports in the KHSAA with the golf state championships in Bowling Green last week. Volleyball's coming up, and football is just right around the corner in early November.
It's very exciting. We already had an exciting finish in golf with a last day comeback from LCA. So.
Yep. They were down like 4 strokes and came back and won by 3 or 4 strokes.
They were, and took
against the mighty Tigers of St. X High School.
That's right.
What have you enjoyed? I mean, you're obviously great at what we're doing here as an intern. Tell them how you became an intern and what you're enjoying most about the show.
Well, I emailed Gary, and I was recommended to me by my principal, and I thought it was a great opportunity, so I jumped the gun. And
you're doing a great job. There's the email address. If you're a coach, a parent, an athletic director, you want to get your student athlete on the show, that's how easy it is. Just email us at Ball G there at Windstream and get on the show. And certainly glad you're interning. We got Waveney. We got, of course, Josie. They're a little busy. Waveney's in that IB program at Creek, and that keeps her pretty busy academically.
I don't have that much homework ever.
That's right. But high school sports, it's great. Get out and enjoy and take in a great high school sporting event. We'd certainly encourage it. It's worth every penny. And thanks to Brack Bennyfield for being our director, doing a great job this week. John, our floor director. As always, on the Scholastic Ball Report. For those you see and those you don't see.
Keep your eye on the Scholastic Ball Report.
The Scholastic Ball Report is sponsored by UK Sports Medicine and brought to you by Central Bank, Crown Trophy, Panel Swim Shop, P-Rats, PrepSpin.com, Raising Cane's, Rafferty's, Roberts Insurance, Sutherland Chevrolet, and by Whitaker Bank.